I've been sitting with this decision for months, but it's time to make it official. Hey, my name is Yana, and I'm here to help you build a life that feels good inside. Welcome. Today, I want to share a small but important shift I am making in my work. And most importantly, I'm sharing the reasons why. Maybe you already know, I've been working with burned out professionals for some time now. And my coaching work has been always about uncovering patterns. And this is the pattern that I kept seeing. Capable people having good ideas. They have plenty of ambition, but they don't have any flexibility. And again, the same thing kept coming up in our conversations. It's not that they don't want to work. It's not that they lack ambition, as I said. And it's definitely not that they are lazy. And if you're watching this video, I'm sure you're not lazy either. So the pattern that I kept seeing was that the work that these people had was no longer fitting their life. The lack of flexibility was draining them. And this was one of the first signals that something in my work needed to shift. The second reason goes way back. Even before coaching, I worked in finance. I used to be a strategic partner, and a big part of my job was taking complex rules, for example, like tax laws and compliance, and turning them into real workflows. Real workflows for real companies, depending on what their product flows looked like, depending what they directly needed. So I brainstormed ideas with them. I drafted projects. I implemented things step by step. I built systems that actually worked in real life, systems that could be actually used by the team. And I really enjoyed this part of the work. And recently I realized I miss that. I miss the thinking, I miss the structuring, I miss the process of turning something abstract into something concrete and usable, into a step-by-step approach that actually breaks something big into something that is actually manageable. And the third reason comes from building my own business. Over the years, I've been part of many courses, many cohorts, and many masterminds. All of them focused on strategy. And yes, strategy matters. You do need to know what works and what doesn't. But here's what I learned. The strategic part is rarely the hardest part when you're building business. The real difficulty shows up somewhere else. In the overthinking, in the cycles of self-sabotage, in the endless mental loops about timing, safety, and doing it right. And this happens especially when the next step feels uncomfortable. And you might have already heard me saying this, but for our brains, everything unfamiliar feels like a threat. So most people already know what they want to build. They know what sparks curiosity, they know what sparks their interest, what brings them joy. And yet, they wait. They wait to feel ready. They wait for a week, and weeks turn into months, months turn into years. Maybe you also know this loop. And that's the real gap that I see. Honestly, it's something that I feel myself too. I've been building this business. I'm living through the uncertainty, but I stopped waiting to feel ready. And that's why I'm bringing these three threads together. Now I'm focused on helping people go part-time. Not hustling harder, not building a multi-million-dollar business from day one, and definitely not doing everything at once. Going part-time, to me, means creating a little more flexibility, a little more freedom, and I believe that we all want that. We all want enough space to breathe, enough space to experiment, and to build something that enhances our lives instead of consuming it. So that's why I want to bring this coaching where mindset actually meets strategy. The both worlds that I've been living in, my business and finance degree, my past career in finance, my coaching certifications, coaching experience, and actually my own experience with building my own business and doing experiments online. For example, like starting this YouTube channel, starting a newsletter, starting a Substack, posting consistently on LinkedIn, trying Instagram. Like, these are all experiments that I've already taken. And I've invested so much in these cohorts, programs, and courses. And I think that I can bring you an overview of how an online business could work. And not just from a bird's eye perspective of someone that's been running it for years, but from a relatable perspective, and most importantly, to bring my coaching insights and coaching questions that could actually help you how to start your own. Where to start from? What are the different approaches? Which questions to ask yourselves? And that's what comes next. This is something that I would like to bring to you in the upcoming weeks. For example, this is the structure that I've already started to work. Maybe you can see that these are all the different structures and decision trees to make at the beginning of your journey. So make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss these videos. I call them Online Business 101, where I'd like to help you go part-time, to help you live burnout free, now through coaching, where mindset meets strategy. Because building something on your own is rarely hard because of the strategy alone. Yes, you need a plan. Yes, you need a clarity. But the emotional side of taking action is where most people get stuck. This is again where my experience come in. This is also the inner work that we've been doing together to work on your inner critic to silence those doubts. As I already mentioned, our brains are wired for safety, and anything new, even something that we deeply want, can feel unsafe. So that's the reason we usually delay, because we wait for the certainty. We tell ourselves we'll start when things calm down, but often they don't. Life keeps happening. We all know that. And we've all heard the lesson to stop waiting for once. And to change something in your life, you need to start taking action. So we'll take the action together, step by step. Yes, I'm not saying that this path is easy, and I'm not promising that it will happen magically or without any effort. What I'm saying is that sometimes it's worth focusing on a few additional things now, if that makes the future feel lighter, calmer, and more aligned. And I'm walking this path myself. I don't have everything figured out, and that's okay. Because if I waited for the moment when I had it all figured out, I will be waiting forever. But I do know that the hardest part is continuing to take action when results are slow, when there's no motivation, and when your brain insists that this isn't safe. But there are ways to work with that, and I will be happy to show you how. So this is the work that I'm focusing on right now. To brainstorm what's possible, to identify concrete next steps, to walk alongside you while you take this action. So if this resonates, you're welcome to reach out. You can leave a comment, send me a message, or book a 30-minute strategy call. You will find a link down below. And I'm here to help you build a life that you've been longing for, the one that actually feels good inside. Thanks for being here, and stay tuned for the lessons on how to build an online business in 2026.